What's that sign up ahead say? It says you are now entering Gotham. Welcome to the Before the Bat, the Gotham podcast. The podcast devoted to the show Gotham that will be premiering on Fox Network this fall. My name is Phil Parrish, and why am I the right man for this pod? Well, I'll tell you in a little bit. First, I'd like to give a big shout out to Rob Southgate and the Southgate Media Group for giving me this opportunity. I couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much for all your help and the inspiration, everything. Thank you. Anyway, as I was saying, my name is Phil Parrish, and I am a huge comic book fan, especially Batman and Batman-related things. And I've waited a long time to be able to share my love and knowledge of comic books with, well, whoever listened to me. I'm assuming, since whoever's listening to this podcast, that if you're listening, you've kind of heard a few things about the show. I don't know, they put out a cast list, and I'm not sure. I know certain people, like I've heard Lilith Hellfire, who also pods on the Southgate Media Group, talk about that she had read the pilot for Gotham. You know what? Maybe we'll get Lilith on here one day. Hint, hint, Lilith, help. No. Anyway, she can come on anytime she likes. But I was looking at the cast list. I mean, we got a lot of names familiar to the Batman universe. I just hope the absence of a Batman doesn't hinder this show. And what's this show going to be? Does anyone? I want to hear from you all. What do you think this show is going to be? Maybe on our first podcast, when the first episode comes out, I'll share some of our predictions first thing, and we'll see who hit the mark, who was totally off base. And is it going to be like a Law and Order SVU type show? Or is it going to be, I don't know if it can be too comic booky, because I don't think there's actually going to be any, there's no, probably not masked vigilantes, probably just cops and gangsters. Who knows? But I was just looking at the cast list a little bit ago. Benjamin McKenzie as James Gordon. Donald Logue as Harvey Bullock. Speaking of Law & Order SVU, Donald Logue played a cop in the last couple episodes of this past season. He did a good job. I think he'll probably make a good Harvey Bullock. David Mazouz as Bruce Wayne. Who knows? I heard they might be doing time jumps on this show, so maybe we'll see Bruce Wayne in different times of his training. In every story I've read, Bruce Wayne has gone, left the city. I think most of the time he left the country to train, so I don't know if they're going to follow him where he goes, or if they're going to show just he's going to stay in Gotham. Who knows? And let's see. Sean Pertwee as Alfred Pennyworth. Oh, here's one I've been wanting to talk about. Jada Pinkett Smith, we got a big name, as a gangster called Fish Mooney. Fish Mooney. Are you really scared of a gangster with the name Fish, especially a woman? Well, I guess one day we'll have a Penguin. Speaking of, Robin Taylor plays Oswald Cobblepot, who will become the Penguin. Again, another scary name, but you never know. Aaron Richards is Barbara Keene Gordon. Cameron Picondova is Selena Cow, who people probably know one day becomes Catwoman. Sabrina Guevara as Sarah Essen. Listen to me. If any of you email me, or we'll get to the social media in a little bit, but if you email me or write to me, just know I will hack up, and last names are not my strong suit. Which is ironic, because half the time people can't pronounce my last name, but alright, so like I said, let's see what else is on our agenda. Like I said, I'll give the social media out at the end. I want to see emails, Facebook, Twitter, like I said, predictions on the show. What do you want to see? What don't you want to see? What do you think it's going to be? What do you hope it's not going to be? Let me know. Is it going to be true to the spirit of the Batman legend? Your guess is as good as mine. But like I said, just call, write, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you got to do, let me know. Anyway, Right now, I'm hosting by myself, but I am looking for co-hosts. I was thinking perhaps of rotating co-hosts. If anyone listening would like to pod with me, please feel free to email me, the Facebook and Twitter. I'll give those all out at the end. But that's how I got started podcasting. Lilith Hellfire, who you'll also hear on the Southgate Media Group, podding many, many, many podcasts. Put on her Twitter the one time because I was a listener to one of her pods, and she put on Twitter that she was looking for a co-host for a certain episode, and it took a few weeks, but I finally gone on with her, and I did two episodes of a certain podcast with her. And next thing you know, she told me that she had a friend who's looking for a co-host for another podcast, the Flashpoint podcast, which you can also hear on Southgate Media Group, co-hosted by myself and Zachary Hare. Look for that. The Meet the Host episode is already up for that. Let's see. So, just if you think you have an interest in podcasting, please let me know. Also let me know, are you a comic book fan? Do you know much about the Batman? Are you a bigger fan of the movies, cartoons? Just let me know. I'm willing to give anyone a chance if they share a love of the Batman. And that goes for all of you, my fellow podcasters on the Southgate Media Group. If you want to swing by sometime, even the great Rob Southgate himself, please let me know. I could talk Batman with just about anyone. So, let's see. I don't think a date has been set for the release yet, but probably I would guess October, if not late September, but probably October. I also want to hear from everyone. Please let me know. Do you want this to be a completely exclusive TV show podcast, just for discussion and whatever else for the TV show, or would you like to hear comic book news also, like Batman comic book news? Because I have a fan page on Facebook, Batman Incorporated, where I put up the new releases for the coming week. We could discuss comic book news if anyone wants to talk about that. I'm willing to go anything Batman related. Also, with Batman vs Superman coming out in 2 years, if anyone wants to speculate and discuss about that, please feel free. So yeah, please let me know if what you want to hear. The TV show, of course, we'll discuss, but any comic book or movie news, cartoons, let me know what everyone's interest is, and maybe I'll do some trivia questions, and we'll see who gets those right. Or I'll try to come up with some creative things. We have some time. The show doesn't start until the fall. Trust me, Batman is always on my mind. Plus, like I said, if anyone wants to podcast with me, please get in hold of me. I will tell you in a little bit how to get a hold of me. But anyone, listeners, my fellow podcasters, or celebrities, any celebrities listening to this podcast, anyone from the show, any celebrity in general, like that's going to happen. Please, anyone, come brave the streets of Gotham and talk to me about the Batman. Alright, here's a thought. Maybe it'll be a first topic for everyone to write in about. Who else do we want to see on the Gotham show? We don't want to bring in anybody too soon, but I was going to say Harvey Dent, but he's probably around Bruce Wayne's age, so I don't think you could bring in a Harvey Dent. Let's see. Probably not right away, but maybe towards the end of the series, if we have maybe a red-hooded thief. Does anyone know who the original Red Hood was? Anyway, who else could we see on this show that would make sense on the timeline? I really hope they go into Bruce Wayne's training, showing maybe, I don't know if it'd be too formulaic, but maybe not every week, but every so often show him learning a new skill, martial arts, detective work. I think he trained as an escape artist for a while. There's so many things you could show him, so many skills you could show him learning. But like I said earlier, there are also rumors of like maybe between seasons they're going to do a time jump. They might jump ahead, a year, two, however many years. What's everyone think? Because, if Bruce Wayne, I heard in this show, I thought he was a little younger when his parents were killed, but I do believe they said he's going to be 12 or so in the show. And when's he going to put on the mask? I mean, we probably have to wait at least 10 years or so. I mean, unless they count on the show lasting 10 years, they're going to have to do time jumps, because that's the other thing I heard that they had put out, that just like on Smallville, the last episode will have him putting on the cape and the mask. We'll have to wait till the end. So, unless they drag it out like they did 10 years, like they did with Smallville, they're going to have to do time jumps. So, what does everyone think? Do they think this concept of a pre-Batman Gotham, can it sustain a show for several seasons, or are the ratings going to be there? Because we were going to have a young Bruce Wayne, but we're not going to have Batman. Or people going to tune in for a Gotham before the Batman? Like I said, I love the Batman and all Batman-related things, but I'm just like, I want this show to work. I do, but I'm willing to give it a shot. There's, I'm not one of those people who's going to put something down, but I sound so negative, but I hope it works. I have the highest hopes for this show. I hope it does work, and maybe, hopefully, one day it'll even lead to, we have the movies. Why can't we get a Batman TV show? Give us a Batman TV show. Or a Nightwing TV show. That is my favorite character, Nightwing. For those of you who don't read the comics, Nightwing was Dick Grayson, the very first Robin. He is. Well, I don't know if anyone wants to hear the comic book minutia, so I should say Dick Grayson is Nightwing. He was the first Robin. And odds are we're not going to see him in the show, because he is, I don't know how many years younger than Bruce Wayne, so sorry, I'm jumping all over the place here, but, what just came to me? And not just ideas for the podcast, or, your thoughts on the show, or, like I said, even comic books if you want to hear about them, but any good cosplayers out there, send me your Batman cosplay pics. You dress up as Batman for Halloween? Maybe I can put that up on, all our social media, on our Facebook and our Twitter. Halloween, me and my son dressed as Batman and Robin. My son wasn't even a year old, but we were dressed as Batman and Robin. So, yeah, anything Batman related, let me know. Anybody write any good fan fiction, or let me know. Anything Batman, I just eat that stuff up. So, but like I said, just let me know what everyone wants to hear on this podcast. Like I said, the big one, let me know. Do we just want to do a TV podcast, or do people want to hear about comic books and other forms of media? And, any interesting stuffings want to share with me? Like I said, pictures, stories, thoughts on the show, the comic books, please let me know. And you're probably saying, how do I let you know? Okay, well, the email for our podcast is beforethebat, no spaces, beforethebat at gmail.com. That's beforethebat at gmail.com. Our Facebook is Before the Bat, the Gotham Podcast. And on Twitter, you can find us at BeforeTheBatPod. Twitter, that's at BeforeTheBatPod. So, like I said, please let me, anything interesting, and anything interesting, I'll share it with you. Any interesting thoughts, please let me know. And just put in your emails or anything if you'd like to, that it's okay for me to share this, Otherwise, I'll keep it to myself, all right? And let's see. If you want to hear more of this podcast or any of the other great Southgate Media Group podcasts, you can get them on iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud, or you can go to the source at our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. And if you download us from iTunes or Stitcher or SoundCloud, give us a rating, reviews. That's how we know we're doing a good job or not. Ratings and reviews, please. And like I said, I am on another podcast. I am co-hosting also in the fall, the Flashpoint podcast that will where we'll discuss the Flash television show that will be on the CW this fall. Me and Zachary Hare. So go over, download that, rate us and like us. Like I said, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or SouthgateMediaGroup.com. So, like I said, remember everything I said before I go. I'm looking for co-hosts, even if they're my fellow podcasters or even you amateurs. Please, like I said, I'm pretty much an amateur myself. So, please, I want to hear thoughts, opinions, anything. Let me know. But that's it for now. I will see you in the fall, hopefully with another voice in the room, because you're probably all sick of my voice. But until then, we are now leaving Gotham. Good night and good luck.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.